Good evening. My name is AJ LaRosa. I'm the chair of the Burlington Development Review Board, and I will be calling today the December 2nd, 2025 meeting to order. We are in hybrid format, although mostly remote today. We will be hearing items listed on our agenda in a slightly modified order. We'll begin with the second item, 158 South Willard Street, Phi Gamma Delta Housing. Miles Stafford, conditional use review for change of use dormitory to fraternity sorority. And then we'll proceed with ZAP 25-8, 164 North Willard Street. I am recused on that one, and so I'll be then handing over the reins to co-chair Caitlin Albert. So do we have the applicant here for 158 South Willard Street?
Good afternoon, Attorney LaRosa. My name is Miles Stafford. I represent the Phi Gamma Delta Housing Corporation in this matter.
Hi, Miles. How are you?
Good.
All right.
I'm well.
Can I get you and anyone else interested in being testifying in this application to raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter under consideration is true and correct under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
All right. Seems relatively simple here. We want to convert this back into sorority fraternity housing. Any issues that we should be aware of in your review of the staff notes before this?
No, the only thing I would mention is that I believe this afternoon I sent along some proposed lease language that my clients are going to require for any future lease to any fraternity or sorority to rent the property, dealing with any potential nuisance issues. Those provisions basically outline requirements where there has to be a residential advisor living at the property, and outlines basically systems to report up the chain any nuisance issues to assure the community at large that any issues will be dealt with by both the tenants and my clients as the property owners.
Scott, you take a look at that. Have any concerns with that?
This was my project.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mary.
That is the attachment, the PGD lease agreement that I attached to the record. And no concerns.
No concerns. Okay. I had one question, and I don't mean to throw any wrench into the works. I just want to raise it and ask about it. In 1955, when this was approved, there was seemingly a condition that it had to, whoever was using it had to comply with the national rules of that fraternity or sorority. I don't know if that's relevant. Is that something relevant, Mary, still or not?
This was one of the old permits that Scott and I uncovered in the attic of City Hall. I cannot say whether that condition is relevant. I attached it merely as a demonstration that this has been in continuous use since that date.
I'm assuming that's not. Okay, then let's not deal with it. It's fine with me. Any board members have any questions?
I was just curious about the first condition of approval. The facility oversight and parking management will be defined by the fraternal organization to the satisfaction of the Development Review Board and upon acceptance remain conditions of approval. So I noticed that there was the attached document that had the lease requirements and how those are set out. Is there still an intention of a parking management? And does this application then need to go back before us for that?
In my staff report, I did outline the maximum parking requirements for the use, and they are compliant with that. It is an existing parking lot. The number of bedrooms and beds has not changed, and the parking lot is existing.
So there's no additional So per that condition of approval, there's no additional documentation that will be provided to us or anything. Okay.
There has not been. And you may remember that when Champlain College applied and was granted a permit for a change of use, all of their parking was off-site, and they outlined that it was covered in the joint institutional parking management plan. The reason for inclusion in my language is that parking management plan that Champlain College included this use under is no longer relevant because it's no longer part of the institution.
Right. So we don't need a specific parking management plan. Any other questions from the board? Once, twice, thrice. Do we have anybody in the audience or online who wants to be heard on this application?
If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, please. We have a number of folks online, but nobody's raising their hand, AJ. Oh,
All right.
somebody just raised their hand. Tim King.
Okay, Mr. King, do you want to speak on the fraternity sorority issue?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you hear me though?
I can.
Oh, okay.
Did you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Okay. Introduce yourself and share your thoughts, please.
Yeah, there's a couple of us in addition to Miles who are involved with the fraternity. I'm one of them. The everything that I'm hearing so far is correct and true. We we were very closely, and I was very closely working with Champlain College. I'm a 1976 UVM graduate, Burlington born and bred from the old North End. So I have been around that, but that the property was in very good hands with Champlain College, and we maintained a very close relationship with them throughout the time that they were leasing it. And my role is to remain the property manager and to coordinate, the condition of the property and keep it in its condition as a historical property. So just want to put that in there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Miles, I don't think you would respond to that. I don't think there's anything else we need from you. Do you feel like you need to say anything else?
Nothing further.
Okay. So I guess with that, I'll close the public hearing. And I'm wondering if,
AJ,
yeah,
I hate to say this, but right as you're saying that, we got another hand raised from
Okay.
Francis Smith.
Let's hear from Francis Smith then.
Okay, Francis, you're up.
Hi, I was wondering, is this consideration into fraternity/sorority use? I understand that it is being considered, it's being brought up by one specific organization right now. Will this be a permanent change to this property that any fraternity or sorority could theoretically use the property for in the future?
The answer, I suspect, is, well, not I suspect. The answer is permits run with the land, and the rights granted by this permit attached to the land. There are conditions of approval. It's typically not applicant specific, unless there's a reason that it's applicant specific, but it is a use which runs with the property.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other hands? Once, twice, thrice. All right, now I'll close the public hearing. And I think perhaps since this is a relatively simple application, I'd like to make a motion that we approve on ZP 25-520 158 South Willard Street. We approve the application adopt staff's findings and recommendations. Period.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So with that, close that item. The next item on the agenda is 164 North Willard Street. And that is ZAP 25-8. Mr. Purvis's appeal of a zoning violation related to ZP 21-275. I am recused, and I will step aside. Actually, can we do one other thing first? The Development Review Board needs to approve its 2026 meeting agenda, and then I'll sign off for the evening because I'm recused on the last item. Does anybody have any issues or concerns with the DRB agenda 2026 meeting calendar? No? Then I will move that we adopt the January 2026, the 2026 meeting calendar. I don't even know if we need a motion for that, but
I'll second.
seconded. Any further discussion? No? Aye? All right. So now we're on 164 North Willard Street. I am recused. I will hand it over to Caitlin. Go forth.
Okay. So I just want to be really clear with everyone on what is in front of us. So this is an appeal of a notice of violation for a zoning permit that detailed some specific site changes. I know there are a number of matters related to this property and the parties involved. But I want to just ask that everyone stick to the matter that is in front of us right now. And there are going to be two parts to this. Because there was a request for a deferral, we are going to speak about the deferral request first. And then if we decide to deny the request for deferral, then we will get into the merits. With that, anyone that is here to speak on this matter of 164 North Willard, I want to swear everyone in at this point, and then we'll go from there. So if you would like to speak on this matter, let's start with the swearing in. So if you would raise your right hand and attest that your testimony today is true and correct under pains and penalty of perjury.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Okay. So there has been the request for deferral. So I want to focus on that first. Scott, I should go to the appellant to just ask on that first on any matters, or I just want to check on the procedure.
For the deferral, you pick. It doesn't matter whether you confer with staff or the appellant first.
It's their motion, Caitlin, so I would probably have them, the appellant, speak first.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of what you said, Jeff.
It's the appellant's motion to defer, so I'd probably have them speak first.
Thanks. I see that we have the appellant here. I believe you are able to speak. I see Miss Lauterbach. I'm assuming that Mr. Purvis is with you as well, or do we have, let's see this whole name.
Yes, Christina is here and Luke Purvis is here.
Great. So as I mentioned, we are just discussing in this moment your request for deferral. We saw what you provided in the written materials on that. Is there anything beyond the written materials that you wanted to share on your reasoning for that deferral request?
Yes,
That's good.
Can you mute Matt Zadowski? Is that better? Yeah.
There's two devices in the room. One of them should be muted to avoid the echo.
So I don't have control over muting. Can you guys mute me?
Turn off your camera mute.
The speaker should be turned off too.
We can't hear you if you are speaking now.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, there is a bit of an echo.
So can the Zoom controller mute Matt Zadowski's device?
We're only hearing the audio through Matt Zadowski's device, just so you're aware. I think I've heard you before. I'm not hearing the echo right now, so maybe we just proceed.
Okay, great, thank you. I will let my attorney speak, but I do know that a witness who had wanted to speak and participate is plowing snow, and he sent an email fairly late saying that he was unable to participate because of the snowstorm. So we'd like to add, if Scott hopefully received that, and would like to just add that into the record for our reason to request a deferral.
And I think you can hear me. My name is Matt Sadowski. I represent the appellants, Luke Purvis and Christina Lauterbach. I submitted a request for deferral, and the basis for my request for deferral was that the staff report and the content of the staff report seemed significantly more expansive than the content of the notice of zoning violation, including with respect to discussion of facts and I guess for lack of a better term, allegations related to the violation. And given when the staff report came in relative to the notice of violation, and given the Thanksgiving holiday and other professional conflicts, I'm unsure that I am entirely prepared to provide adequate representation in this proceeding. And that was stated in my letter, which is in the record. And that is my reason for asking for a deferral, which is distinct from the reasons that my clients asked. We are here and prepared to proceed if it's denied, but I want to be very clear that my reading of the staff report indicates a broader violation or broader alleged violation than the notice does. And that's the basis for my request.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for the appellant team?
Matt, when did you receive the staff report?
I believe Luke received it on the 19th of November.
Okay.
And I would have received it that day or the next day.
Okay.
And I traveled to Chicago on Wednesday before Thanksgiving and returned very late Sunday night.
Understood.
Mrs. Luke Purvis, we traveled to Virginia the whole last week for Thanksgiving. So we spent the whole week trying to get prepared trying to address the expanded scope of the staff report that was beyond the notice of violation.
I'm not seeing any other questions on this side of things, so I do just want to give staff a chance to say their piece on the deferral request.
Yeah, and just briefly, it's the board's call to make. Staff is prepared to go forward tonight. Sounds like the appellant team is as well. I'm not sure what deferral would gain except for a delay. The appellants provided, I think, about 300 pages of documentation. I don't know that more is needed, but it seems pretty complete. But again, it's the board's call.
So
Did you want to respond?
I'm happy to respond to that. I mean, the 300 pages of analysis and exhibits were provided through an arduous process, an accelerated process, and I think that probably Mr. Purvis is prepared, given the fact that he spent almost every waking minute since receiving the staff report working on this through the Thanksgiving holiday. My request is based on the fact that I'm not sure that I am prepared, and that is the position that I am taking. I'm his attorney. I'm, here to advocate on his behalf, and I'm not sure that I have thoroughly reviewed the 300 pages and all of the very, very nuanced arguments that this family needs to make. Like I said, we can proceed, but I just want to be on the record saying that this is our request.
Thank you. So it is on the board to determine at this point if you have any other questions about the deferral request, if anyone wants to make a motion on the deferral request.
I'm sympathetic to the request. I mean, I say that with the understanding this has been going on for a very long time, and I don't think the issues that are raised in the staff report are new to Mr. Purvis. But I do appreciate that he has counsel involved now, and we have had a very difficult time, I think, getting some direct answers to what's happening with this property so we can get clarity and hopefully resolution for everyone moving forward. And I personally would be inclined to provide Matt an opportunity to help bring some further clarity there that I hope will make the proceeding more efficient. And I'm really looking for some very specific responses to the factual allegations. And I'm hoping with that additional time, we can set the expectation that we're not going to be stuck in what I think has just been a spaghetti against the wall strategy of really, arguing every little point. And we need to get down to how do we resolve this and move forward. So I would make a motion that we grant a limited extension to our first available date after January 10th, and really ask the parties to work hard between now and then to refine this down to a digestible presentation that will allow us to move forward promptly.
I'll second that motion.
7 seconds. Any?
So sorry, if I can jump in for the purposes of warning the meeting, the first available date after January 10th would be January 20. So if you specify that date and time, we're good.
I understand there's a motion, but I'm wondering before the motion, is it possible that the neighbors are able to state a comment?
I would only like to hear a comment if it's specific to the deferral request, not any of
Yes.
the facts of the matter.
So 2 questions. I was wondering if the Development Review Board could ask Scott or Attorney Sturdivant what the CDO requires of notice for the staff report prior to a DRB meeting. And the second question is from my observation from what was just said, and then this is Melanie, sorry, we have Margaret and Melanie here. The staff report was submitted on November 19th, which was 15 days before tonight's meeting. And I guess I was curious when the applicant's attorney came on board and received that notice, when the appellant received it at November 19th. Thank you.
That second question has been answered by their attorney already, that he said he received it within the same day that the appellant did. For the first question, I think that is fair for staff to answer. I don't know the answer off the top of my head for any definition within the warning on how early the staff report should be posted.
So statutory requirements for warning pertains to meetings. So public hearing items, like real public hearings, like appeals and variances, is articulated in statute and reflected in the CDO. It's 15 days. And then for certificate of appropriate items, it's a week. There's no specification for when staff reports need to be posted, but we make a practice of having it done by the Wednesday before the meeting, so about a week.
Thank you. Okay, we do have the motion on the floor and Evan has seconded it. Is there any other discussion amongst the board before we vote on this, on Jeff's motion?
I would say maybe we should amend the motion to have a time certain of January 20th,
Well, and
2026.
I apologize, and I am not trying to delay this more, but I'm in Boston that day. My daughter has a medical appointment at Children's Hospital on that date. And so I would ask that whatever the next date is, I mean, it's on maybe you're on 10-day intervals or 2-week intervals. That's not a good day for my family.
The meeting after is February 3rd. The meeting before is January 6th.
Well, either of those are fine.
So then I'd make a motion that we schedule it for a date certain on January 6th.
Evan, you seconded the original.
Yeah.
motion.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of deferring to January, sorry, I already forget, January 6th.
Aye.
Okay, that is everyone. With that, that means we're not hearing the merits on this case, and that means we have come to the end of our agenda, if I'm correct, since we handled the other matters first.
Yeah, that's it. Until next time.
Okay.
Enjoy the snow.
Bye.